Peace, love, and light, Leo, and welcome to your general reading. If you are new here, my name is Ty, and I'm super happy to have you. Hopefully, you'll take a look around, like what you see, and hit the subscribe button. If you're returning, thank you so much for joining me again. I truly appreciate all of the love and the support. Hopefully, you've already subscribed to the channel. You guys, if you're new to tarot and you don't know how this works, it is a general reading, so everything won't resonate. Please take only what resonates, leave the rest for someone else. Also, keep in mind that roles are interchangeable, and you should place yourself and everybody in your story where you know they belong, because only you know where they belong. What else? Y'all, try not to pay attention to my hair, because I know I'm out here looking like a lion. I had my hair up in a ponytail and I had such a headache that I was like, I gotta bring this down, and this is what we got going on, all right? So try not to focus on the hair. Anywho, let's get into it and see what is coming in. I figured I'd start with the fire signs because I don't think I did you guys last month. I think I missed y'all, and I'm sorry about that. All right, so we're gonna kick it off with Leo. And yeah, so this is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus placements. So if you have Leo in any of those areas in your chart, there may be a message in here for you. Spirit, what messages do you have for Leo? Give me the energy for Leo right now. Give me the energy for Leo. Thank you. Death. Okay, so there is a transformation that's happening. Something is ending in order for something else to begin. That could be an aspect of yourself, or it could be, okay, yeah, you're grieving. It feels like you're grieving the loss of some sort of ending. But there's, let me pull more, hang on. The Emperor, okay. Okay. All right, wait a second. Oh, that's beautiful. You got the 10 of Cups and you got the 3 of Cups. Okay, so we got Death, the 5 of Cups, the Emperor, the 10 of Cups, and the 3 of Cups. Okay, Leo, let's look at what's at the bottom of the deck. 6 of Wands, which is incoming communication, but this is victory. This is success. So what I'm getting here is that there are, okay, so I'm getting 2 different messages. The first one is that there are parts of you that are being stripped away right now, Leo. With that Death card, you are going through a serious transformation and you are having to face your shadows. You're facing some sort of situation that disappointed you, or you're facing the fact that something has come to an end, something has run its course, okay, and that has you feeling down, it has you feeling disappointed and sad. Some of you, that could be a career, a job, okay, or it could actually be some sort of relationship. Now, I feel like there are aspects here that are dying, okay? But I feel like what's dying, or what's coming to an end, let me stop saying dying. What's coming to an end is a certain cycle, a certain chapter of your life that's coming to a close, but it's like herald this change that is happening within you, and that has already shifted inside of you, which is going to start to reflect in your external environment, okay? Please clarify this 5 of Cups here. The Strength card, yeah. So I feel like it's like you're having a realization of something that you were holding on to, maybe for too long, okay? You were holding on to something, and I feel like you're starting to realize that whatever that something is or was in the recent past, that it's been holding you back all along, even if that's an aspect of yourself that you're just starting to come to terms with, right? That you're just facing. I feel like for some of you, this might be someone at work, right? Somebody that you decide to face or stand up to at work, right? You're having the confidence and the courage with that Strength card there to stand up for yourself. And I feel like that's a huge theme in the collective right now, not just with Leo. And I say that and I almost forgot. Strength is the Leo card. So you are immediately smack dab making an appearance in your reading, which puts you in a powerful position, right? And it also tells me that there's a lot of internal shifts that are happening because you're popping up here, okay? This tells me that what's shifting is within you, okay? There's this huge major shift that's happening inside of you. And I feel like with the Five of Cups, it's like if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same result, right? Even if that's like how you speak to yourself, how you just spend too much time facing the door that's been closed, okay? So, you know, I think that you're coming to the realization of like how you've been the villain in your own story, right? Okay, let's clarify the Death here. What is coming to an end or transforming? Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, you're not committing to something. It's like you're not subscribing to the bullshit anymore when it comes to a certain person or a certain situation. Again, some of you, this is work. Others of you, this could be a lover or just a person in your life. It could be a parent. It could be a father. It could be a big brother. It could be, you know, a family member, right? Where you're just like, yo, I'm so done with giving of myself, you know, to people who don't value, who don't appreciate, and who just take and don't reciprocate, right? The Eight of Pentacles in reverse is like you are not putting in effort or work into that anymore, right? So there's no, you're not, there's no, you're choosing to pull back your energy from something or someone and, you know, go in a different direction with the Fool at the bottom of the deck. And I feel like, Leo, I feel like this has a lot to do with family. Family, maybe even close friends, but people who you feel have, you know, left you depleted or just are not pouring into you the way that you pour into them, okay? The King of Swords. Yeah, you're cutting certain people out, and I feel like you're in a place in your life where you're having to pull back your energy from people, and cut certain people out. You're just not tolerating certain things anymore. You're being clear about what you want. You're being clear about, you know, about your feelings and your expectations. And I feel like the King of Swords is saying you are setting boundaries there, okay? Clarify that, Emperor. Judgment. Yeah, so I do feel like, this is pertaining to lessons that you had to repeat. And I feel like you're finally learning those lessons. And standing on business is basically, you know, if in the past you made bad decisions, choices that compromised your well-being and your peace and your livelihood, you're not doing that anymore. You are standing 10 toes down and you are, you know, setting boundaries and you are protecting your energy and you are protecting what you have worked so hard for here, okay? You're not, bottom of the deck, the Four of Swords. You're not letting anybody steal your peace. You're not letting anybody interrupt or, you know, steal your joy or interrupt your peace, okay? Tell me more here. With the Ten of Cups. Thank you. The Six of Pentacles. Yeah, you're pouring in the places that are, and into the people who are pouring into you. The Six of Pentacles is like this is reciprocity. I ain't got it if you ain't got it to give. If you can't reciprocate the energy, if you can't reciprocate the love, if you can't reciprocate the devotion, if you confused about where I stand in your life, then baby, there's the door. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do you one better. I'm out. And I feel like, I feel like you're pouring, again, in places, you know, into people and things that are pouring into you. Please clarify the Three of Cups. Even if that means, Ten of Pentacles. Wow, you got the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm going to go back and read this in a different way, just to give you another storyline that I'm picking up. But I feel like, yeah, you are creating a whole new environment for yourself when it comes to the people who you surround yourself with. I feel like you're going from people who disappointed you in the past over and over again. And you really are attracting the people who are, meant to be in your life and who are pouring into you and uplifting you and nurturing your growth, and showing you love and investing in you and those connections and those relationships, right? It's like you're investing where it's worth, right? Investing where it's worth investing. You've made so many inner changes, and I feel like you really are in a position of power. The Emperor is Aries energy, right? So, but it's still fire energy, right? I see the Emperor and I feel like either you have, a lot of Aries in your chart, or, for some of you, this is just like that energy. You could have a lot of Aries in your chart, but shoot, I forgot what I was going to say right now. Anyway, you're in a position of power is what I'm saying. Like you feel yourself stable and solid and unfuckwithable is what I want to say. Okay. Yeah. And I feel like that's because you have set boundaries. And again, you're not giving where they're not giving you. Okay. With that 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, the 3 of Cups, wow, this is good times. This is coming together with people you love. This is reunions and celebrations. With that Emperor, I feel like you're building something, you're creating something, and you are setting the foundation for a very, very abundant and prosperous future. Okay? You know what? I want to see what's coming in, but let me use a different deck. Okay. Tell me about what's coming in for Leo. Leo, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to continue to do it. Because I feel like you're just like, yo, you got one time to show me how you coming. That's how you're feeling, Leo. You got one time to show me how you coming. Yeah, what I wanted to say about the Emperor is that you are very much in that fiery energy where you're just like, you're going after the things that you want. You're going after the things that bring you fulfillment, and you know what you're investing in. It's like, if I'm pouring into here and I see that I'm not getting it's not being reciprocated, I'm not getting a return on my investment, then no thank you. I'm going to go in a different direction. Okay. Yeah. Please tell me what is coming in. What is coming in for Leo? What is coming in for Leo? What is coming in for Leo? Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus placements. What is coming in? Thank you. The 2 of Swords. Yeah, I feel like you're at a crossroads. And I feel like the Judgment card there is like, maybe you were struggling to make a decision, and this could be to make a decision to, again, end something in your life, whether that something be a person that you've been holding on to. It could also be feelings, a conversation that you need to have with somebody, and finally getting to the space where you're like, you know what, I'm going to have this conversation, and this conversation will determine everything. It'll determine whether or not I move forward in this connection, this relationship, this partnership, whatever it is, or I move away from it somewhere else. I feel like for those of you that this is pertaining to love or a business partnership or work, like your career, I feel like you are afraid to make a bad decision, and so you could have found yourself just second guessing yourself. Spirit is saying follow your intuition. With the 2 of Swords there, yeah, you may have been just waiting around, right? If that's not you waiting, then you're waiting on somebody else to make a decision, to come forth and communicate something to you. Okay. And maybe they just they hadn't made a decision. But I feel like if they didn't make a decision, I feel like you take control of the situation, and it's almost like you make a decision for them. Like I said, it's either what did I say earlier when it was like, oh, okay, you know, you can't make a decision if you don't, well, I'm out, you know, I'll do it. Oh, I said there's a door, right? That's what I said. I'll be bugging. But yeah, so I feel like ultimately you finally make a decision, okay? If you are waiting on somebody to make a decision, then that is, that communication is coming through. But, you know, for those of you who, you know, maybe you had a conversation with somebody and you know there was some sort of disappointment there, right? Maybe you gave them an ultimatum, or you know, you had a discussion that maybe kind of you didn't know kind of where things were. I feel like if you've been waiting, you know, on them to decide and hear back, it's like Spirit wants you to know, like, time waits for no one. Okay, so we don't sit around and wait for people to change. We don't sit around and wait for people to see our worth and to value us. We say what needs to be said, and then we move accordingly, right? We move according to the actions that follow those conversations. We move according to the effort. We move accordingly, right? And we remove ourselves when necessary. Okay, you could always count on me to remove myself. And I feel like that's the energy here. For others of you, if this is a situation regarding love, yeah, I feel like it's like finally having that discussion. And it could be, this is not for all of you, but I feel like one or two people, okay, this is just totally left field. But I feel like if you have been in a relationship for a long time, and you've been holding on to something that you feel, that's it, like I don't want to put into this anymore, I don't want to pour into it anymore, and you've just kind of been hanging on just because of comfort or because you don't want to be honest about your feelings. I feel like once you confront that situation and you end it and you have that confirmation, you make the decision, I feel like that puts you in a position to meet your counterpart, to meet someone else who is in a position to commit to you, right? Maybe you were dealing with somebody who was non-committal, or somebody who just worked a lot and didn't give you the time, the energy, the effort, the attention that you needed. I feel like what's coming in is a decision, because you go from you have the Two of Swords and you have the Lovers, right? So there's something that feels really good, right? A connection where there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of desire, there's love here. I feel like somebody finally makes a decision with the Seven of Pentacles. There's an energy of waiting here, right? Waiting. Even when I'm looking at this Five of Cups, okay? When I look at it's funny because, oh, okay, she has one in her hand, a cup in her hand, and one that's standing up. A cup in the hand already. Yeah, you see, what I get from that is that some of you are still one or two people, okay? If it ain't yours, it ain't yours. Don't take it. I'm just saying, I feel like somebody is currently involved with someone, or it could be just you're in a job, because the cup is like, it's representing something you already have, something that is, the cups are emotions, right? And so I feel, even though she's got a coffee cup, right? Maybe you're a huge coffee drinker and coffee is significant to you. Like, I love me some coffee. Or Starbucks is a thing. Because anytime I see those little coffee cups like that, I just feel like Starbucks originated that. I don't know. Maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I'm being dramatic. But whatever. But I feel like she's got something in her hand, but there's this energy of like she's about to talk to somebody, and then the other cup is standing up beside her. So I feel like, yeah, there's this conversation that you need to have about ending something that has run its course and you've just been hanging on to it for too long, right? An energy of waiting. Maybe you're waiting for somebody to come talk to you, like I said, and make a decision. Whoop, what just flipped out? Yeah. Hangman energy. I feel like a lot of the collective has been in like this stalemate, right? Trying to make a decision. And that's because there are major shifts happening right now. Like 6 months from now, things are going to look very different for so many people, especially light workers, or those of us who are actively, you know, reflecting and looking at ourselves to make improvements, right? To show up better for people, to show up better for humanity. Okay, that hangman energy here, there's a pause, there's a delay in a decision. The Seven of Wands, somebody is like somebody's guarded, somebody's got their guard up, their boundary up. And yeah, I do feel like there is communication that's going to come in soon if you're waiting on a decision. The Ten of Swords, yes, like somebody decides that something is done, that something is over, decides maybe this is not worth it. Oh, ooh, the Two of Cups. The Lovers and the Two of Cups. This is a divine union. This is a divine connection. This is a divinely orchestrated opportunity. Wow, I just had this. You may want to check out the reading that I posted for the 777 portal, because there's like a decision that, I think it was that reading. There's a decision that you need to make. And the decision is ultimately to step into the life that you prayed for, the life that you want. But that obviously, right, is going to mean ending certain cycles, right? Facing our shadows, facing our fears, facing, trauma, whatever it is for you, whatever it is that has you holding back from going all in a certain area, okay? With the Two of Cups here, I feel like there's this energy of on again, off again, on again, off again. And it's crazy because usually I get that when I see the Knight of Wands, because that's that in and out energy. But here I have the Two of Swords. So maybe you have a discussion, or you had a discussion, and, excuse me, there's a sword up here. So I'm going to take that as direct communication right in here. There's a sword already. She's already thrown that sword. So I feel like, okay, boom, small communication comes in, and then now, but I'm still thinking about it because now I still have another sword here, and there's still that decision to be made with the Lovers, right? But I feel this connection. It is an energetic, is it a connection? It's a spiritual connection, but then nothing happens. Nobody's doing anything, right? Nobody's doing anything. You're standing 10 toes down. They're standing 10 toes down. They've got ego. You've got ego. They've got boundaries. You've got, yeah, you get my drift, right? And then it's like, the Ten of Swords, something ends, the Death card, Ten of Swords, clarity comes, something ends just so that it can start again renewed. Nine of Swords, there's somebody that's in their head really, really obsessing over this decision. For some of you, this is about taking a job somewhere else, about taking an offer in another state, in another country, in another, just relocating. For some of you, this is about relocating. What ends? What is the Ten of Swords? The Four of Cups. There's this indecision. There's this boredom, this passing up opportunities. So again, I feel like, yeah, what ends is that you realize what it is that you want. Because the Four of Cups, this person, he's not even looking over here at the cup that's here, that's coming in with the Page of Cups. That's the Page of Cups, bringing that message, bringing that other cup that this person doesn't even see coming. So I feel like somebody's stressed over making a decision, okay? And that's what's coming in, is the opportunity or this communication. Yeah, I was waiting for the Seven of Swords to come out because there are fears here, fears about making a decision to move forward into something, because you have to leave something behind. You have to leave something behind. So for those of you who have created a nice life for yourselves, you feel like, okay, I'm really content where I am, yes. But if you want more, it's almost like you gotta, what's the phrase? Go big or go home, right? Because now you have to uproot, you have to leave certain things behind, even if they are comfortable. Because she's walking away from these 9 cups. These 8 cups. She's got 8 cups here, and she still makes the decision to walk away with just this little bag and her broom to go find what really fills her with joy, her wish fulfillment, which is that 9th cup. She's like, you know what? I'll take the gamble. I'll turn down your offer because it's not what I want. It's not what I think I deserve. And I'll take my chances going out there to find better. And I feel like that's what happens for many of you when you make that decision, when you make the choice, even if it's that you went to a boss and you asked for a raise, and you know, maybe you gave like an ultimatum and you were like, this is what I got, and they're like, yeah, sorry, we can't do that for you, and you decide, or you already open your mouth and say, you know, if not, you know, then I can't stay, and you don't, you know, the scenario happens, but you move into something much better. You move into the 2 of Cups. This is a deep soul connection, soul tie. This is soulmates, and this doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partner. Okay, it could be a business partner, it could be a best friend, it could be a contract that is just meant for you, that's waiting for you, that brings in a shit ton of money and happiness. Okay. Ah, 10 of Cups again. I said what I said the universe said. I said what I said the universe said. Yeah. Yeah. If you want, what is the advice for Leo? The Page of Cups. So there's some sort of the 7 of Wands. For some of you, I get that if this is an apology, right? If something came to an end, the person hasn't communicated with you. But if somebody's trying to change, and they come in and they are trying to acknowledge their wrongs and apologize, be careful not to be too, because the 9 of Wands, the 7 of Wands, it's like you've been through a lot. You're on guard. You're ready to pop off at any moment, right? You're protecting yourself. Ready for argument, ready. Don't be combative, because I feel like whoever this is resonating with, whoever it is that's coming in wants to reconcile. The 4 of Wands is a reunion. It's celebration. So I feel like you might be super paranoid when you get this message, okay, or this apology, and maybe the person is younger than you and doesn't really know, is not a good communicator, is not really emotionally mature, but means well, okay? It is a true apology. It's a genuine apology. It's a genuine, like the beginning of something. I feel like this person's heart is in the right place. The bottom of the deck is the moon. So a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings still, like there's a lot that's happening that you don't know that's happening beneath the surface. The 6 of Cups doesn't surprise me. We're in the shadows of Mercury retrograde, so this is the energy. The past returns, and so I feel like it's somebody that you don't see coming that comes in to try to reconcile with you. And I feel like with this 2 of Cups and this 10 of Cups, the 10 of Cups came out twice. That's the universe saying, I said what I said. Like, there's a blessing in disguise here. That's what Spirit is saying to me right now. There's a blessing in disguise here for you, Leo. The 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a desire to work together, to commit. I'm going to stop there. The Hierophant. This is a desire to work together. So somebody comes back, maybe after disappointing you, and maybe that's that conversation. There's some fears of like coming in because something ended, but the person is ready to commit. And I'm not saying it. Look, if you're not ready and that person ran out of time, it is what it is. Only you can make that decision. But if you are willing to allow this situation, the opportunity, look, something changes. I can't make this shit up. The Emperor again, the Tower. Somebody's having some sort of realization. Okay, even if someone else is trying to detach from their emotions and still keeping their guard up, it's like something is going to shift. There goes that Knight of Wands that I talked about, the energy that finally comes in. Like, say what you gotta say, fam. We doing this or we doing this? Because I don't have time to waste. What is the, ooh, I'm taking it. What is the Tower? The Empress. Make sure that you are in your divine feminine energy if you are the divine feminine, and that you are receptive to receiving the gifts and the things that the universe has for you. Make sure that you are not allowing your fears and your past traumas to reject offers that are coming in for you. Also, and some of that could be new love. Okay, and new love doesn't necessarily mean a new person. It could be a person who has done the work, has gone through a deep transformation here, has spent some time reflecting on things, okay, trying to make this decision and comes in ready to pair up with you. I have the Emperor and the Empress. This is the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and we are in a time where twin flame soulmates, your person, twin flames, soulmates, they're coming into union. There's a huge shift right now. I think Venus is retrograde. I think Venus is retrograde right now. But also something is happening. I think, is Venus in the sign of Gemini right now? I know that there's huge transformation happening right now. When it comes to realizations, revelations, when it comes to love and relationships. So I feel like somebody is having a moment where they're like, this is my person and I'm going to come in, or this is my opportunity and this is where I'm going to invest and grow my business, grow whatever it is that you're trying to grow, and it is going to flourish in a way that, Leo, you can't even imagine. The King of Wands, but you got to say yes and you got to get started. The Hierophant here tells me, yeah, this is about people who have the same views, morals, values, ethics, see things. And I'm not saying that you got to see things exactly the same. I'm saying that you want the same things. You want a family. You want to get married. You want to settle down. You're ready. Okay. This is definitely like, okay, there's maybe one of you are working on something, a goal that you have, that is finally coming to fruition. Maybe you needed a partner and that partner comes in. But for so many of you, this is love. This is love. Is this love? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? I feel like somebody's gonna have that kind of awakening. Like literally, like, is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? Because you or that person pulled back their energy. And I feel like if you're the divine feminine, that's the kind of energy you got to be in. It's like you do not chase, you attract. Not opportunities, not people, not money. You do not chase, you attract. You align yourself with the vibration of whatever that thing is. If that thing is not on that vibration, if that person is not on that vibration and you have to let them go, well then so be it. That's the story of the twin flames, right? You got a runner and a chaser. The runner's not in that. The runner is running. The chaser is on that vibration, ready to commit, ready to love, ready to settle down, ready to do it all, and is constantly chasing the runner. And it's not until the chaser says, enough. I'm not chasing you anymore. I'm going to be right here. And when you decide, or when you have that awakening, when you have that enlightenment, when you decide to stop and it hits you, then you can come get me. But what stops, and I'm not saying, not to say it like this, right? But what ignites, or what's the word I'm looking for? What triggers the change in the chaser, in the runner, what triggers the shift, right? Because the runner then becomes a chaser. What triggers that shift is when the chaser stops chasing. When the chaser finally aligns, right, with the vibration of love and says, love does not chase. Love is open and ready, right? So that divine masculine, right, or whoever is in that masculine energy, because this is regardless of gender, once they stop, they then are able to raise their vibration and meet the other person there. But that only happens when the chaser stops chasing, because you pull your energy back. You pull your, and they feel it. If you have a divine soul connection, in general, people feel when you pull back your energy, okay? It's energy, and they will feel it. They will feel you slipping through the fingers. But it is super intense when you pull back your energy from someone who has a soul tie to you, from your twin flame. You are the same soul that was split. They feel it. And that is the call. When you take your attention away from it and you draw your attention inward, right? So I feel like when you finally do that, somebody comes around, okay? Yeah, wish fulfillment here, okay? Then somebody is inspired to take action toward you, or you may be the person inspired to take action towards somebody else. But I know that there's a connection here that has the potential to heal itself, while others of you, when you decide to put an end to whatever it is that you're holding on to, whether that be a relationship or an aspect of yourself, or a job that is you're just done, you're not present anymore, and it might require you might decide, I don't want to be here anymore, I want to leave, I want to go, but I'm afraid, I don't want to make a bad decision. When you finally go all in, pick a side and stay there, oh baby, the tables are going to turn in such a way. Wow, this is really a beautiful reading, Leo. I love this for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If it resonated with you, please leave me a comment down below. Give your girl a like, it helps my channel. Also, if you are interested in connecting with me on any capacity or following me on my other social media channels, all of that information is going to be in the description box below. Also, I hope you already subscribed. I love you all so much. Peace, love, and light.